Sitting on a beautiful round-shaped harbor off East Pass, Destin is famous for its fishing fleet, which is the largest in the state. Destin has been called the world's luckiest fishing village, and it's not just the great offshore fishing that lures anglers to these northwest Florida waters. The fishing inshore can be awesome too. In fact, a trip to the local fishing pier made Captain Rick feel right at home. Home, that is, with some new friends and his all-time favorite fish.
As you know, on Sportsman's Adventures past episodes, one of the things that we like to do here in the editing studios is bring the beauty, or maybe a little bit of flavor, of the area. So we were up in Destin doing the show with Pat and Ian, and we wanted to show you guys some of how pretty the beaches are. So we went down to the beach, and sure enough, we came up upon this pier, the Okaloosa Pier. And when we approached the pier, they have a little tackle shack called Joel's Tackle Shack in the front of the pier. And you go through that tackle shack and you get anything that you might need. Well, in the tackle shack, we met a guy named Scott Fish. What a great last name. But Scott proceeded to tell me, he said, "Captain Rick, we really love your show, Sportsman's Adventures, and I'm going to go catch you a tarpon." And I got to tell you, I hear fish stories all over the world wherever we travel. And this guy, sure enough, he went out on the end of the pier, and in July and August, the tarpon, they migrate from Tampa right on up into the Panhandle and over into Louisiana and Alabama. And these fish were migrating from east to west. And sure enough, out on the end of this pier, these schools of tarpon would come through. This chaotic casting technique from guys that are using 7 and 8 and 10-foot long rods, big surf casting rods. If you happen to be standing behind them, you found yourself looking face down, dodging a lot of big spoons and big lures of all different kinds, because these guys were launching, looked like something you'd see in a military war. They were launching all these lures off of this pier into this school of tarpon, and my buddy Scott, sure enough, hooked up. Now, the problem that you run into when you're fishing 60 feet above the water is that now you've got to fight this fish, not like we do at a boat where you get to chase the fish down. You are stuck. And sure enough, Scott did a great job of fighting this fish. But the other thing you have to worry about is the concrete pylons from the pier. And you get into the closing stages of the fight, potentially this fish getting wrapped around this pier. But as he got into the closing stages of the fight, he got some help from 2 of his good buddies. They went down and got off at the end of the pier, ran down the beach, jumped out into the water, and swam out and rescued this tarpon. Once they got a good hold on the tarpon, then the tarpon had to be revived. So they swam it into the beach, and by this time, Scott had jumped off the pier, down into the water, and was helping them revive this fish. And I gotta say, it was one of the neatest things that I have seen in all the 25 years of guiding and doing this fishing show. So I gotta say, my hat's off to you, Scott, for doing a great job of catching this fish off this pier. And again, thanks for watching Sportsman's Adventures, and I hope that you enjoyed this pier fishing as much as I did, and our little episode from Destin, Florida with Pat and Ian.